Dear students, welcome to our today's session. Already yesterday we have discussed about the elementary data types in ABAP or in ABAP programming. So I have been already explained that there are two types of your data types in ABAP. One is related to the fixed length, another is of variable length data type. So in fixed length, if you see that the data types are like your byte field, text field, integer, floating point, packet number, but the last one string is a kind of variable length data type which comes like a string. Okay, so again it's very important for any ABAP to remember the values which are given for this particular data type. Like X is used to indicate your byte field, C is used to indicate the text field, and I is indicated to integer field. See, time to time when you use them, you will get an idea how to declare them and how to use them your particular variable. So, but it's very important you have to understand that these particular data types or fields, okay, you can be modified with the help of even other names like byte, numeric, and character like also. Okay, so if you see here that one is given here like first. Okay, so these particular ranges you need to remember. See, but N is also known as numeric text field, or it is a kind of a field where the typical range is given from 1 to it's 65,535. Okay, D is used like a character like date. To mention the date, we use that D as with 8 characters. As usually in our date also there are 8 characters. Okay, DD, MM, and 4 times Y. Then T character like time 6 times, where how these 6 are considered, we can say here when the time is displayed, we need this type of total 6 characters there. Then for integer, I is mentioned here 4 bytes and its respective range is given. Then for floating, the value is given or it is indicated with the type F and it requires 8 bytes of memory size. Then here if you see the packed number, that also comes with the 8 bytes. Okay, then string, having said string is a kind of variable where any alphanumeric characters you can combine together as a string. One more variation with string comes as a byte string, that is X string, where you can have the byte values and again its type or its particular length is a variable. It depends on that kind of string you are going to display there. Okay, so yesterday we have been seen this example and we have been displayed the result for each and every one. Okay, so now the matter is, see, when we are going to use these kind of data types which are available like your here byte field, text field, integer, floating point, packed number, and text string, then we have to understand one more point, that is what these data types we are going to use for the storage of a particular information. Okay, and that storage is depend on what? The size of that data type. Okay, so you remember the data type, its size, and typical range as a part of your studies. See, then next is along with this there are the certain types are available. Data types are available, we can say, like a complex and reference types in your ABAP. But these complex and reference types, in that complex type is again further classified into structure type and table type. So what is there in a structure type? See, structure type generally comes with its own elements. Okay, so what is it? Its elements and structure, they are grouped together. So it is just like a very simple concept or similar concept structure in your C program. So what we do, suppose take an example, I want to store the book information, and to store the book information I need, suppose the first variable is the name of the book, second variable the number of pages in the book, and third variable is that pricing of that book. So if I want to store for each book the information in this way, name of the book, number of pages of the book, and pricing of the book, then usually what is the traditional approach? We may use arrays in a C. And because, but what is the problem with the arrays? I can store name of the book separately, then number of pages of the book separately, and that pricing information separately, but I cannot group them together. But if I want to group and I want to get each book wise the same information at a time, then I may use the structure variable. I may create one structure book, and inside that I will write separately that it may be like character array to store my that book name, then integer arrays to store my that number of pages of the book, and float array to or float for data type I will declare to store my that pricing value. Okay, and I will group them together in one structure named as that struct book, and then later on how I will get the data for each book. I will just use a separate structure variable to get the value of that each book but there that I can collect together. So it means I can collect integer, character and float values together for that book information. So similarly in your ABAP also, this structure data type keep the elementary types, means your existing data types like your float is there, number is there, text is there, and other structures, which it is a structure embedded in a structure. In structure within a structure we can group together in this structure data type. Okay, currently don't worry, but understand the definition of that structure data type. It is again one more data type is available in your data types of your ABAP. Okay, then it is now one type of your that. Another one, see that when the elementary types or types or data types are grouped together, the data item can be accessed as a group data item. Okay, it means I can access them as a group data. Okay, it is like that. Suppose take an example. Okay, in a box I have been kept 4 or 5 things together. It may be my pen, pencil, then it may be my eraser together, like a compass. Okay. So, but when I am asking you, okay, give me a compass. When you give me a compass, okay, what happened? Actually, indirectly, you are giving me pen, you are giving me pencil, your eraser inside that compass. Okay, so it is a point. Key, when the elementary types are grouped together, the data items can be accessed as a group data item. Okay, and once we access them as a group data item, even I can access them individually also. Suppose I want only pen, but that pen is kept in that compass or in your that box, then what you will do? From the box you will give me that pen. So it means ultimately with the help of that box as an element, I am accessing my that pen, I am getting my pen. See then, like your structure type, another complex data type in your ABAP is your table type. So table types, see that it is like an arrays in your C programming. The table types are better known as arrays in other programming languages. So we know very well, arrays are what? They are very simple. Or structure array, we know that. When I declare any array, what happened there? Array is, suppose I am declaring, okay. If I'll take here as an example, suppose I'll say that I'm going to make use of a notepad right now. Okay, if I'll open the notepad and if I'll declare there an array, everyone knows here. Okay, so when we are using an array, the declaration format of array is very easy. Okay, what it is? Suppose in C language, okay, in C language, suppose I am saying I want to declare an array of integer type. Suppose it is int array of 10. So what do you mean by this? The meaning of this statement is very clear. I am declaring one of the array named as, okay, I am saying here array named as ARR and which is, okay, which is of size 10. Okay, when I am saying which is of size 10, it means in this array I can store all the numbers, okay, all the different values. But what kind of values? So it's very important. I am going to store here what kind of values only? Integer data type. Okay, which values? Integer values only. Because why I am saying it is going to store only integer values? Because my array data type is an integer. What it is? An integer. Okay. So I hope you are getting this particular point. Okay. So in this way, we are declaring an arrays in your C programming. Suppose somebody is writing here, I want to declare a character array. I can write char name of 10. So it indicates that I can read into the name array all the characters, and maximum size of this array is how many characters I am going to put here one by one. At first position, 0th position, okay, I can read a name. Then at name of 1 position I will read another character value, name of 2 I can read another one, in this way. So here array is used to store the same data together. Okay, and here they are stored usually in normal programming language in a continuous manner. Okay, in the memory. Okay, so similarly in your ABAP, table type means what? Simply it is your arrays in other programming languages. We can create even arrays of the structure. So they are also known as structure arrays. So please remember, in ABAP or in ABAP, arrays are called internal tables. What are they? Arrays are called internal tables. So when I say internal table, what do you have to understand? Okay, it means here I have to declare one of the array as like in our C programming. Okay, but here what is the nomenclature or terminology in ABAP? It is internal table. Okay, see then what? They can be declared and operated upon in many ways when compared to other programming languages. See, we are going to see that how are they used or we can use as a part of this particular discussion. Okay, so that we can do here. Okay, see that then following table is given as a part of your internal tables or arrays which can be categorized. See, first is like line or row type. Here your row of an internal table can be of elementary, complex or reference type. It means I can declare this particular internal table in ABAP as maybe like a simple elementary data type, just like we were declaring in C language like int a of 10. Okay, that way. Then complex or reference type, I may have the structure to structure arrays or structural internal tables there. Okay, another way is what? Key, which specifies a field or a group of fields as a key of an internal table that identifies the table rules. So it may be like an index. Okay, so I am here going to specify a field or group of field with the help of key here. A key contains the fields of elementary types. Okay, it contains all the fields. Okay, and access method is what? See, it is simply describe how your ABAP program want to access that individual table entry. Okay, so these are the different ways. Okay, in this way your internal tables are categorized and we can use them together, these parameters, okay, together to access that internal table. So like this complex type, now I think you got it. In complex data type of your ABAP, there are two types. First one is your okay. So here we were discussing about these arrays. Okay, arrays in normal programming, it's very easy to use them as a part of your any programming language. You can declare them with the specific data type, and in an array you can store that data as per your requirement. Suppose you want to store integer data, you can store the integer data. If you want to store character data, you can have the character array. But in array, I cannot store the different data together. It means if I have declared an array int a of 10, I can store only the integer data, not during that time character or float data together. Okay, so arrays are used, or we are mentioning them as a part of our use to store the data. Okay, or we can collect that data together. Similarly in ABAP, these arrays are called internal tables. They are known as what? By which name now? Internal table. So please remember all of you, when we say internal table, it means what? An arrays. Okay, please remember. So when I am going to use these arrays in this ABAP program, then how I am going to use it? I am going to use them with the help of following parameters. Okay, like first is line or row type. Here you are going to mention for what purpose that internal table. Are you going to store integer values in it, number in it, character in it, or float data in it, or any complex like structure arrays you want to declare? Then you are going to use this line or row type. Key is generally used to maintain or to contain the fields of elementary type. How many fields or values you want to store there, that you can mention. Then access method is used to describe how this ABAP program access the individual table entries or your internal table entries. Okay, so it is in what way or in what sense you want to access one by one that table entries. Okay, when you are going to access, see in your normal C programming, what you do, you access the array elements with the help of indices. Just suppose I am saying suppose it is written int a of 10, Then when it is int a of 10, suppose I want to access the first element, I have to make use of what?